quite sure how to start off this video. Also, apologies for the background noise. I was hoping that filming by the water would give a nice waves ambiance to the video, but I think it might be just a little bit distracting. So I'm gonna try to talk a little louder than I normally would if I was like in my room. But I kind of wanted to do a video about some of my favorite things, not necessarily objects or items, like a bit more so like my favorite activities I've been doing lately during this period of like late spring, early summer. Kind of want to start with music. I've been really enjoying the album In the Darkness, Hearts Aglow by Weyes Blood. I think I'm saying that right, Weyes Blood. The album came out in 2023 and I was just not a Weyes Blood fan back in 2023. I didn't know who she was. But I've been really enjoying that whole album. I just love the sound. A lot of the tracks sound really ethereal and very melodic and kind of sad, but like not too bad, not too sad. It's an album that feels like the ocean. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, so I've been really enjoying the whole aesthetic and the sound of Weyes Blood. So kind of related to Weyes Blood as far as music goes, I've been really enjoying Caroline Polachek, who I had never heard of until maybe like a lot of us, the Charlie XCX Brat album. It was on the track Everything is Romantic, but I could be wrong. But I really like Caroline Polachek's sound too. Again, I hope I'm saying that right. And her and Weyes Blood actually have a song together called Butterfly Net. That's just been on repeat. The lyrics are just so beautiful. Her music is also very ethereal, I think, but more pop, kind of. It falls more into the pop category than Weyes Blood does. So yeah, those are two artists I've been really enjoying listening to. I think my color of the last month or two has definitely been blue. I recently bought a blue nightgown off of Depop. It's very pretty. I just call it like an ocean blue, almost like a sky blue actually, and it has white lace trim, and I just love it so much. Obviously I can't wear it because it's a nightgown, it's technically lingerie. But if none of you guys have like a nightgown that you wear that you're invested in, I definitely suggest buying a few. It turns your evening routine into a whole other experience. I also recently thrifted like a blue, almost patchwork long maxi skirt. And I was never really a maxi skirt girl. I always thought that I had like the body type for A-line skirts. This necklace, you probably can't see it, but this necklace is actually made out of blue apatite, and I bought it from the crystal shop right by my house, and I've been wearing that a lot lately too. I also recently just thrifted like a pair of turquoise earrings, and they have like a turquoise bead at the drop, and I think those are really cute too. I haven't worn them yet because I thrifted them like a day or two ago. It's so hot out here, guys. Moving on, I think my favorite foods lately have definitely been fresh apricots. Like, I guess they just got into season because I'm seeing them everywhere. I see them at Kroger, I see them at Food Lion, and I saw some at the farmer's market yesterday. So the fresh apricots have just been so yummy. They taste a little less sweet than peaches, and they're a little smaller than peaches. But I've been eating those like it's nobody's business. When it comes to my favorite beverage lately, it's pretty much just been iced coffee that I make at home, and I always use like a sugar-free creamer. I recently just repurchased the Chobani sugar-free creamer, and it's been really good. So when it comes to actual products, one thing that I've been really enjoying is like ocean smelling or ocean-esque themed fragrances and like bath items and hygiene items. So I recently purchased, I'm gonna put it right here again. I recently just purchased, a perfume from Ulta by the brand Vacation. It's a sunscreen brand, and they sell like self tanners too, which I obviously don't need or use. But I've been really enjoying their perfume. It's called After Sun, and it just smells so good. It has notes of like the ocean, like sandalwood, sea salt, and that's just been my go-to every day for nearly a month now, and it smells really great. And it was super affordable too. I think maybe like $60, which isn't bad at all for like 3 ounces. So I definitely suggest getting your hands on that if you're looking for like a really good summer scent. I'm somebody who I really do love floral fragrances, but I don't want to wear that year round. My go-to is typically the Orange Blossom perfume by Jo Malone, but like I said, it just wasn't really hitting the same as it did in the spring a couple months ago. So yeah, I highly recommend the After Sun perfume by the brand Vacation. I've also been really loving the Native products. I've been enjoying using their body wash as well as their 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. And again, I use I think it's called sea salt and sandalwood or sea salt and cedar, something like that. It's sea salt and some kind of like woodsy notes. And I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I know a lot of people associate like smells like that have to do with the forest, like wood and stuff, with fall and winter. But it very much smells like a summer, like a fresh, clean summer scent. And so yeah, I've been really enjoying those like ocean kind of fragrances. So I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is books. I recently purchased a couple of new books for the summer that I've been reading. The first one, it's not really a summery read, but it's from an author that I really like, and the book is called Enigma by Rue Nix. And if you know me, you know that one of my favorite like gothic romances to date is Rue Nix's first book called, it's not her first book, but it's it's the first book that I read by her called Gothicana. Rue Nix just released this new book, Enigma, a couple weeks ago actually, and it's been really good so far. I haven't gotten too far into it, only a few chapters, but I mean, it's just as good as Gothicana, if not better so far. She just has this way of writing her characters and writing scenes and atmosphere. I think one reason I love it so much is because it's so atmospheric, and it's like a gothic kind of academia tale, if you will, but I don't feel out of place or weird reading it in the summer. I mean, I can't recommend Rue Nix's work enough if you love like romances, semi-dark romances, but I do suggest, obviously, if you're gonna read a book with darker themes, to check the trigger warnings. Her books aren't, you know, that intense. Like, I wouldn't say she's like an H.D. Carlson or anything like that, but I mean, I would still suggest checking like trigger warnings before you read books with like darker themes or books that are marketed as like dark romance. So Enigma's been really great. I also recently picked up a book of poetry by one of my favorite singers, Joan Baez. Again, if you know me, you know I love Joan Baez's music. For those of you who aren't familiar with her, she was kind of involved with Bob Dylan for a little while. Biggest fumble of Bob Dylan's life, in my opinion, is fumbling Joan Baez, because she's amazing. She's so wholesome. She's still alive, and I don't know if she's still making music, but I have a ton of Joan Baez vinyls, and her voice is just so lovely. But her poetry is even better. Like, I love her poetry, and the book that I bought by her is called, I think it's called something along the lines of If You See My Mother, Ask Her to Dance. Something similar, something along those lines. But her poems are just so beautiful and vulnerable. And a lot of her poetry, she talks about her mental health struggles. She talks about going to therapy, which I find to just be very lovely. And just, you know, I think when I write, my writing style is very vulnerable when it comes to poetry also. So I really respect that in her. And I feel very connected to her, maybe as like a kindred spirit, so to speak. Maybe I'm just, maybe that's kind of silly. She doesn't know who I am, but like, I really admire like her musical voice and her poetic voice as well. I highly recommend that book of poetry by Joan Baez if you can get your hands on it. I think that's pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Apologies if you can barely hear me. I'm gonna see if I can fix the sound to where the background noise is a little toned down a bit. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more content like this by me, I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.